Hello BookTube, Sarah here and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm coming to you with part 2 of my October 2017 book haul. And now I have 18 books to talk about. I bought a lot of books in October. But again, to be fair, most of the books I buy are on a deal. So let's jump in and get started. The first book that I got is The Nightingale by Kristin. I'm pretty sure most of you are familiar with this book. It is a historical fiction novel set during World War II. I've heard a lot of great things about this book, and I think it came up as a daily deal for like $2. So immediately I went ahead and picked it up because you can't pass that up. Not for a best-selling novel, for sure. The next one is 3 Christmas Wishes, and this is by Sheila Roberts. This is a Christmas contemporary story. I believe it's more of a chick lit or women's fiction as it is opposed to a contemporary romance. But it's about 3 friends, finding romance separately during the Christmas season, and it sounds like a lot of fun. Next up was another, I believe this might have been a monthly deal, and this is Death by Vanilla Latte by Erickson. This is book number 4 in the Bookstore Cafe Mystery Series, Cozy Mystery Series. I think I got Death by Pumpkin Spice, was mentioned in my last haul, and this one was also available as a deal. So I decided to pick these up, and I think I now have books 4 and 5, so I have to go back and get like books 1, 2, and 3. So, the next book is Those Christmas Angels by Debbie Macomber. This is book number 5 in the Angels Everywhere series. This was originally published as a Harlequin super romance, which is the cover that I have up to show you guys here. This was republished with a different cover, but it's a Debbie Macomber, and it's a Christmas story. And she is Mrs. Christmas. She does Christmas like nobody's business, especially romance, and they're fabulous. And this was on a deal, and I had to pick it up. The next up was another deal, and this is another one that they republished it with a different cover. And this is The Sheriff of Shelter Valley by Tara Taylor Quinn, book number 6 in the Shelter Valley Stories series. Tara Taylor Quinn is a fabulous author. This one, here's the original cover. Was also originally published as a Harlequin super romance novel, and yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. A lot of these I don't know a whole heck of a lot about them, but excuse me, when you get them on deal, and because of the fact that I am slowly trying to collect a lot of the Harlequin books on Kindle, that's why I just pick them up when they're a deal. If I can, excuse me, my throat's a little dry. Next book, another Harlequin. This is a Harlequin intrigue. No, this is a Harlequin romantic suspense. It is Her Secret, His Duty by Carla Cassidy, book number 1 in the Adair Legacy series. It's about a hidden pregnancy and, running from some bad guys. It's your typical romantic suspense. Carla Cassidy is fantastic. Had to pick this one up. The next book, I'm really starting to get more and more into Regency romance novels, something that I never did before, and now when I see them on deal, I immediately go ahead and pick them up. And this is A Most Unlikely Duke, and this is by Sophie Barnes. This is the first book in the Diamonds in the Rough series. This one sounds like a lot of fun. The next book I am super excited about. I happened upon it, I was on my Kindle reading, and for those of you who have the Kindle app, because I don't have a Kindle itself, I have a Samsung. But if you have the Kindle app, when you open up the app to read your book, at the bottom you get it says bestsellers, and I saw the cover of this and I'm like, ooh, she's playing the string. And it's called where is it? The Whishing Thread, and this is by Lisa Van Allen. And I clicked on it to go to the Amazon store and have a look at it. And this book is considered to be magical realism, which is something I generally don't read very often. But it sounded very interesting. It's about 3 sisters who live in the small town of Sleepy Hollow. And yes, it is that Sleepy Hollow. And they own a knitting store. And when they knit items like scarves or hats or what have you for people, they are knitting in spells in a way. And it just sounded really, really interesting. And it has quite good ratings on Goodreads. And I think it was $1.99. So I went ahead and picked it up. The next book is just your typical contemporary romance, small town, which I love so much, and that is Just Look Up by Courtney Walsh. This is the first book in the Harbor Point series. Next one is by Melissa Foster. This is Game of Love, and it is book number 1 in the Remingtons series, but it's book number 10 in the Love and Bloom series. think I've talked about Melissa Foster before. She has this ongoing series, which is like up to book like 26 or 27, and it's Love and Bloom. And it's like the overarching series, and then within that series she has smaller series that are like 4 or 5 books long. So I think you're supposed to read these in order of the Love and Bloom, but it is the first book in the Remington series, and this one was actually free. So if you're interested in trying out Melissa Foster, maybe go and check to see if you can still grab this one for free. I know oftentimes her first book in the Love and Bloom series, which I believe is just called Love and Bloom, or is it the Snow Sisters? I will post it right here, whatever it's called, I can't remember. But that book I'm pretty sure is always free, like, to try her out essentially as an author. But she's written quite a bit, so yeah, I really do like her. The next book, I was so thrilled to see this one come up as a daily deal, and that is A Million Little Things by Susan Mallery. It is book number 3 in the Mischief Bay series. I had this one on pre-order and canceled the pre-order because it was on the pricier side. I think it was like $10 or $12 for an ebook, and I just can't justify that for an ebook. That's more than the cost of a paperback, but I know it's because it was being released on hardback first, so the ebook price is always more expensive until it's released on paperback, and then it drops. But this was on for a daily deal, and I think it was like $2. So I picked it up. I read the first book in the Mischief Bay series. I have book 2, and now I have book 3. So I'm looking forward to continuing on with that series. The next 2 books I did, now, they changed. I want to mention this really quickly. Remember, I think I told you guys before, one of the ways that I find deals is that I have a huge wish list on Amazon. And you used to be able to sort it by price drops. So you could sort that wish list and only see the books that had a price drop, whether it was like 1% to 99% or even 100% price drop. And, you know, every day or every couple of days I would go on there and do that sorting and have a look at it and see, you know, what was available at a reduced price. They've now gotten rid of that feature, and I'm really, really bummed about that. But I found a workaround. And it's a little bit of a pain in the patukas if you have a lot of things on your wish list, which I do, but it does work well. And right now, the other thing that they changed is they now have it on an infinite scroll. So it's not like you have 9 pages on your wish list. You can just scroll and scroll and scroll until you see every single thing on your wish list. So what I do is scroll all the way to the bottom, so everything is displayed. And then I do I think it's Control F, and that brings up the find thing. You can also click on File Find, I think, on your web browser, and I type in price dropped, because that's the terminology that they use. Price dropped, X number of percentage. So I hit price dropped, and then it highlights every single time that that phrase is used. So of course it highlights every single book that has had a price drop. Again, it's a little bit of a pain in the butt, but it's a workaround that works for me, because that's the whole reason I have a wish list on Amazon, is because of that feature. To be able to go on and see how much the price has dropped since I've added that book to my wish list. So yeah, just a suggestion if you guys are interested in trying that out. So again, these were 2 books that I find that had a substantial price drop, so I immediately picked them up. And the first one is called Local Girl Missing by Claire Douglas. This is a thriller. And I typically don't read thrillers, but this one sounded really good, about 2 best friends, and I think one of them went missing, and the other friend is being questioned or something like that. I don't know. Sounds really, really good, and it was on for like $1.99, so I picked it right up. And the second one is called The Beach at Painter's Cove by Shelley Noble. This is a standalone contemporary romance novel. And on Amazon for Canada, it had a 1-star review, and I'm like, oh well, it doesn't sound very good. So I went and looked at it on Goodreads. And it's somewhere between 3.6 and 3.8 stars on Goodreads, which is far better. And when I clicked on the review on Amazon, I got kind of mad, because if you're going to review a book, if you liked it, just say, I loved it. You know, but if you don't like a book, I was really annoyed with this review, because all it said was, read a few pages and I returned it. Well, why did you return it? Was it because the file was corrupt? Or was it because, you know, you had issues with the writing? Or, you know, like, give a little bit more of an explanation as to why you would suddenly just decide to return a book. Sorry, but that really, really annoyed me. And please, if you guys, you know, do that, please don't. Because other people do read those reviews on Amazon, and I think that makes a big difference. So I also placed a small order with Harlequin, and I ordered a couple of ebooks. They were having a sale. They're having a sale for the whole month of October, because it is the 35th anniversary of Desire, like the Desire line. And so you get 35% off any ebook or print books for Desire. So I ordered one because Silver James is one of my new favorite authors, and this is actually a standalone book that she's got coming out, or that has come out. And it's called The Cowboys Christmas Proposition, again by Silver James. And this one is kind of a little bit different because he's a country music star and she's a sheriff. So typically it would be the other way around, that the guy would be the one in the law authoritative type job. But in this case, somebody leaves a baby on his tour bus and he knows it's not his. And then she comes to investigate this and the story goes from there. So sounds really, really good. Again, Silver James is a new favorite author of mine. So anytime I see one of her books that is new, I immediately want to grab it. And the other one is Cowboy Christmas Guardian, and this is by Dana Mentink. This is actually a love-inspired romance, love-inspired suspense. So this is a Christian romance novel, and I just love the cover, and I thought, well, I was only ordering the one book, and I'm like, oh, let's just add another one in there just for funsies. So I did, and I ordered this one. And this is the first book in the Gold Country Cowboys series. So this one should be good too. And then I actually went ahead and bought 3 books at full price. Yeah, I typically don't do that, but I decided to treat myself. So I bought Second Chance Girl by Susan Mallery. This is book number 2 in the Happily Inc. series. A contemporary romance series set in a small town, and their main business venture is weddings, essentially. They do weddings there. I haven't read any of this series yet. I own the first book. I now own the second book. And I talked about in my most anticipated reads, book 2.5 comes out in November. So I'm very much looking forward to that. The other book I bought is Sugar Pine Trail by Rayanne Thane. This is book number 7 in the Haven Point series. I've talked about this one before as well. I own like the first 4 or 5 books in the series. I plan on starting the series in December. So I figured I might as well pick up one. Why not? Again, I decided to treat myself. And last but not least is The Last Castle by Denise Kiernan. I've talked about this one before as well. This is a nonfiction novel of the history of the Biltmore House. And I do plan on reading this in November for Nonfiction November. So I'm very, very much looking forward to this one as well. So anyway, guys, that is all the books that I bought over the last 2 weeks. It's a lot, I know, but again, most of what I buy is on deal. So, and they're all just stored on this little device. So it takes up almost no room. So that's perfectly acceptable, and that's how I justify it. Anyway, guys, let me know in the comments below. Do any of these books sound like they're any good to you? Or would you go ahead and purchase them? Or have you bought anything lately? Because, you know, I'm always looking to add to my wish list. So until my next video, guys, take care and happy reading. Thanks for watching. Bye.